Fantastic to be with you here today. It's me and Gunnsteinn Hall, who are now at the Nanitor headquarters in Reykjavík in Iceland. And we want to talk to you a little bit about the release 6.0. So, Gunnsteinn, let's dive in a little bit. What is it in particular that you would like to emphasize when it comes to release 6.0?
Thank you, Heimir. Great to be with you here in this release video. Nanitor 6.0 is a major new release for us. The highlight is really the new inventory, the graph-based representation of the IT assets, where we are able to show the entire assets in a single view, giving kind of a bird's eye view of the entire asset fleet, and showing all the connections. And going forward in future releases, we'll be using this to draw up attack paths and all sorts of things that will be a lot of value for our customers.
Fantastic. There are some other features as well.
Yes, we have been working on improving the software inventory. One thing that our customers have run into is that sometimes there are different aliases of the same vendor names, like Adobe or Adobe Inc. So we've been working on creating a list of aliases that we can push out to correct this, and the users, they can also merge it and fix it themselves in the user interface. So we did a lot of work to make this better for our clients and our partners.
Fantastic. There's one, as I remember, the improved audit logging was a third feature that we talked about, and we are going to come back to some of the graphical representation, but that's the third, basically the third feature that we have been talking quite a lot about, the audit logging. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, audit logs are really important to be able to understand what is happening in the system. So we did a full comprehensive review of all the events that users can do in Nanitor, in particular when there is a change in the system, and we made sure to that we log in the audit log whenever there is a user triggered change. And after this review, we added 18 new events. And it's just a part of ongoing effort to improve this, because we really want, when there is the user is changing something in the settings, then we need to have an audit trail of that.
Fantastic.
Go into the inventory, and we see the new graph, and it basically looks like this. Here we are showing, giving an interactive view of the IT security landscape, and here we can pan around and see all the assets and their connections. So, for example, let's zoom in here. We have the NanLab domain, and we have a few test users here, identities in the Active Directory, and they are all belong to this domain. And then we have the domain controllers and some devices, and we also see how they're connected through the network. And we can also show the issues on the devices So by default, the issues are not shown, and that's just because we want to avoid overcrowding the interface. Although the issues that we show are only critical issues, but now we can see it with the issues highlighted. So we have this issue here is shared by a few of the assets. Identity is not protected against delegation. And then this device has some vulnerabilities. So now we can think about like attack paths, which could be like this vulnerability on this device, but then it's like connected through the domain to other devices and identities. And we can also take a look at one server like this one. By clicking on it, then we are reducing the scope to the closest connections, which can be nice in some cases. So yeah, we're really excited about this new graph feature, and we really think we'll be building a lot on top of this. And we encourage any feedback on this. In some big environments, it might look a little bit scary at first, but then once you zoom in, you can see the connections better. But we are going to be working on improving this view so that you can get a better high-level picture until you zoom in. And then we'll be working on mapping the attack paths and a lot of exciting things that we can do with this. So we are really excited to continue working on it.
Thank you for that, Gunnsteinn. Fantastic presentation of the graphical representation of our asset inventory.
Okay, now let's look at the changes in our software inventory. Let's open the software inventory in the demo environment. Okay, so here's the software inventory, and as always, the software inventory is listing all the vendors and software titles in the environment. And the changes in Nanitor 6 that we are introducing is that we have improved the software aliasing system that we have, because many of the software titles, they come from the device under various different names like Adobe, Adobe Ink, and various others that we have seen. There are often like 3 or to 5 different variations. And previously we were listing them, we were getting them as different publishers. But with the changes now, we are able to push out these aliases where we group them together, and users can also define their own titles by combining vendors manually. But yeah, this helps a lot with the reporting, so we'll get Adobe Acrobat Reader, Adobe Acrobat, that's another professional version, and Photoshop. Now we get it all under Adobe, and the reporting of the software and the software titles is much better. So this is a benefit for users and also for partners that are reporting on software that their clients are using. So I think it will be a really good update, and users can also, if they have a system administrator access, they can select software and click merge, and then it will combine the entries automatically. And I'm gonna show that in a little bit. Okay, now we're logged in as the system administrator. Just to give you a quick example, we can select two titles that look like the same thing. It's a Microsoft Web Platform extensions, and one of them has the registered symbol here. So we just click these two, and then we click merge, and then we can select which one we prefer. We'll just do this one. Alternatively, we can provide like a custom name, like we could like call it just Web Platform Extensions if we don't want to include the vendor name also. So I'll just do it like this. Okay. Okay, now we see that it has been combined. And we can also go and see, okay, this is combining these two titles into one. So we have a good track record of what is happening and why those are being merged into one. So yeah, that's it. This really helps with reporting and consolidating items, which I think is really beneficial for a lot of clients.
So another thing we want to emphasize in our release discussion is how we are supporting the MSP or the MSSP partners across the world. We have been fantastically successful with our MSSP partners and MSP partners along 2024. We are of course looking forward to 2025, seeing the growth and the deployment, helping a lot of new customers to be more secure. So if you just tell me a little bit more about, what do you see as the highlights of the MSSP and MSP support in release 6.0?
Yeah, I think the graph-based inventory is going to be a very valuable addition for partners. They will be able to see like the entire map of their clients' assets, and they can show that to their customers in a really easy way, and then they can use that to map attack paths and bring more value to the customers.
Fantastic. And also along that, basically the other features we also talked about a little bit earlier are also quite current to the MSSP partners. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think like having a good software inventory is really important, and like having it consolidated in terms of the vendors and products will make the reporting much better.
Excellent. One feature I saw and came across in when I read the release notes is actually we are reducing the size of the agent 50%. How important is that for MSSPs?
That's really critical. Like one of our main emphasis is to have a low footprint, and in this release we went through all the dependencies in the agent, and we managed to like cut down dependencies or combine, and that helped us to reduce the agent down to about 20 megabytes. So that makes it just like easier to deploy it, less footprint on the network.
Okay.
So we are really happy with that.
Fantastic. Lastly, but not least, we have now been through a little bit of the 6.0. Can you tell me something about, what's coming up in the future? You have already basically planned the year. Anything in particular you want to tease our audiences with? Anything that you want to share?
Yeah, I think like the new graph-based representation is really going to be like a foundation for more features around attack path mapping, and like finding the shortest path attack paths and bringing more value to the customers. And we'll also be emphasizing more integrations and API.
Okay.
And many other things.
Fantastic.
It will be a great year.
Thank you so much.
Yep, thanks.
One take, ekki?